Several distros, and finally I agreed that for me, what works best is Debian. I've been working on Linux for about a year, and I've tried everything in Linux. And primarily I've tried Arch, I've tried Debian, I've tried Fedora, I have tried NixOS, very little. But what I realized was Arch Linux uh, was not for me. I tried Endeavor OS. Arch is really good. I mean, in terms of a usage, it is very good. But the problem with Arch is that Arch Linux, I have to update it every day, or at least like every 2 or 3 days. There are 500 MB of data that you have to download every time you update it. That's atrociously hard. I mean, you become a, a data maintainer all the time, or a distro maintainer all the time. And mostly Arch has all these hobbyist distros. There are no professional distros in the sense long-term running distros, except for Manjaro maybe. And Endeavor OS is also coming up in a way. But that aside, this is the biggest problem with Arch. Second is the thing that Arch has something called as AUR, Arch User Repository. It's a user-run repository. It's not a corporate-run repository. It's not very safe sometimes, and you never know. Third is a feature of searching for apps. I mean, you can probably install a app finder, but generally, if you don't have that, then you have to search for those apps all around. Fourth is the issue with Pacman. I don't like Pacman. It is very unintuitive. To just update your package manager, you have to type something like sudo pacman dash syu, or if you have to search something, then sudo pacman hyphen dash r, and then the number will be better. It's very unintuitive compared to, let's say, an apt or a Fedora's DNF, where you just have to write sudo DNF and then search the word, whatever it is, or sudo apt update and stuff like that. So not for me, not that kind of package manager. Fedora I didn't want to use because Fedora is like a guinea pig of Red Hat Linux, and Fedora doesn't do anything beyond just slapping a vanilla distro. So, for example, you want Fedora GNOME, it will just give you vanilla flavor of that. KDE flavor, vanilla flavor. i3 absolutely vanilla flavor. DNF is slow, and you always feel that you're like a guinea pig for Red Hat. So Red Hat is allowing you to use that Linux because they want to try new things on you. They will say we are on the cutting edge, but they are not testing anything. They are just testing you. You are the product there. So Fedora is out. And Debian, I think Debian is the most stable. Debian is a long-term standing one. Debian is a foundation. It is not a profit company, so you don't have to worry that it will have any intrusive intentions. In Debian, again, you have Ubuntu, which is canonical. Nobody likes canonical, and then they use something called as Snaps, which is a package manager, and the Snaps is like a sandbox package manager. It's like sequestered within the rest of the package manager, rest of the distro, and it's like flat packs. But if you have flat packs, then why do you use Snaps? It's not universal. It is only for Ubuntu, and it is slow because not Microsoft, sorry, Firefox, and a lot of applications launch very slowly in Snap. It also creates a separate folder in your home directory. Ubuntu, I didn't find Ubuntu to be doing anything superbly great. It's good for an entry level person, but if you're a mid or a high tier Linux user, then Ubuntu I didn't enjoy it as much, and I was a little skeptic about snaps and the rest of the Ubuntu product. Now, Ubuntu based distros, Pop OS, that's one of the best OS I have ever used. Pop OS is a highly recommended OS. Linux Mint, I did not enjoy it as much. It was too basic for me. It was like really entry. But Pop OS was good. It had a very good feature called Tiling Window Manager, which I enjoyed it, but it is very limited because Pop OS doesn't allow you to customize the Tiling Window Manager. It gives you what it is. And it is based on GNOME, so GNOME is more for laptops. and which means if you're using a desktop, then KDE is a better sort of a distribution environment that you might want to use. So Popper is also out. And then finally, in Debian-based distros, I found that MX Linux was the best, because MX Linux has something called as MX Tools, and MX Tools is very good because you can have a GUI for managing a lot of your stuff. You have a GUI for managing your bash config, you have a GUI for managing your startup, boot up repairs and config repairs and your backup repairs and so on and so forth. A lot of stuff which generally would be not there in most backups. MX Linux has it, and it is stable. It is based on Debian, and I don't want to distro up anymore. And I'm okay with a little bit of older software. I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, the software should not update every week. It should be there and it should be stable. That's the most important thing. So that's the reason why I chose Debian and MX Linux, and I will stick to that for the long future.